So they say it's the American dream, owning a home. However, if you're looking to buy a home sometime in the near future, you're going to need a lot of money. And I'm talking about the kind that folds, not that jingles. Why? Well, according to a newly released study, the median price for a previously owned home in the U.S. went up for the 11th consecutive month. Try the average, $420,000. It's even more right here in the nation's capital, a little over $650,000. So, what should we expect in the near future? We hope to get that answer. Joining us now is a man who quite honestly needs no introduction. He is a real estate broker extraordinaire and president-elect of the San Diego Association of Realtors, Mr. Mark Powell, back here on the Live Zone. Mark, always good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you for that kind introduction.
All right, let's jump right into it. In this case, we're talking about the American dream, and that's buying a home. So many folks are watching right now saying, oh, I can't wait to do it, but oh my gosh, I don't think I have enough cash to do so, because now for, let's say, the 11th year in a row, it's going up and up. What do we think about this? Is this something that we will continue to see in the near future?
Well, I suspect that prices might go up a little bit more. However, when you see our home prices going up 38% over the last 4 years, you got to compare that to what we make. I'm not sure about you, but my income didn't go up almost 40% over the last 4 years, so it's making it tough. But somehow, first-time home buyers are able to figure it out. And a lot of this has to do with the lower-end homes, the homes that are being purchased at $250,000, $300,000. Those have all been bought up, and that drives up the prices of homes. You have a little bit of less inventory. So the homes that are like $420,000, they're the ones that the buyers have to actually bid on. And when your debt to income ratio, what that means is how much you make should be about 35 to 40% of what you're spending on housing. When that gets all screwed up and you're not able to make that debt to income ratio, you just simply cannot afford to buy a house. It's squeezing out our first-time home buyers.
Yeah, very good point. It's so interesting. I'm thinking about what the average price of a home is here in D.C. You heard me make mention of it, a little over $650,000. I would only assume if it's not the same, it's probably a bit more where you're at, sir, in San Diego. That is a very pricey place to live. With that being said, do you think we're going to experience a bubble of some sort? I mean, will this thing explode or sometime in the near future?
And Guy, that's a really good question. And I do believe that at some point home prices are going to have to go down. But the only way they're going to go down is if we build more housing. It's a supply and demand issue. It really doesn't have a whole bunch to do with what you're making. It has to do with how much supply is out there. So when you have more supply, you're gonna get, the prices are gonna go down. It's a very simple mathematical equation. However, builders are not building, and I'll just share with you why. The cost of building is almost prohibitive. Do you remember during the pandemic when a piece of plywood was $100? Well, the prices have come down, but it's still really expensive to build, and labor costs are skyrocketing. So labor costs, the cost to build, environmental restrictions, zoning issues. We don't allow infill in certain areas. So we're going to have to get our politicians involved. They're going to have to change some of the zoning laws. They're going to have to allow us infill. They're going to have to maybe waive or reduce permit fees, with oftentimes eat up anywhere from 25 to 50% of the cost to build. So government is going to definitely have to get involved in this. And through government, I guess we're going to be able to reduce these prices. Right now, I don't see very many signs that it's going down anytime soon. One other factor also, Guy, interest rates. Interest rates were 2.5 to 3%. Now they're up around 7%.
Wow.
Makes it very difficult.
Yeah, gosh. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 1% is the difference of maybe on average about $30,000 for the life of the loan. I could be wrong about that, but dear God, it's a lot of money either way. Hey, let's talk about the market itself in this case, because I assume that prices, and we all know that prices are now very high with homes. It's probably a lot harder for the buyer. Not the case for the seller. Oh, they're laughing all the way to the bank. With that being said, do you think we'll see a flip anytime soon?
Well, we're going to see a flip when the salaries start catching up to home prices. So as wages increase, which they are increasing a little bit, as they increase, people will be able to close that debt to income ratio that I'm talking about. So if we have a combination of wages increasing, home prices coming down because builders are starting to build a little bit more. I suspect within the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see a lot more people being able to realize that American dream that a lot of us are striving for, and that's home ownership. And I'm hopeful that we do, like I said, have government waive or streamline some of the permitting processes and reduce some of the labor costs and take some actual initiatives in helping us deal with these escalating home prices. How do you have lower sales and prices going up? It's not really sustainable.
Yeah, well, great commentary, Mark. Before I let you go, one last question, and that is, they say history repeats itself unless we prevent it from repeating. In that case, have we seen something like this, let's say in the last 10, 15, 20 years surrounding the market where these prices have really just skyrocketed to a price, as you pointed out, where it's really not allowing the first-time home buyer to get in the game?
Guy, that's a great question, and I'll tell you, yes, we did see this. I remember 2008, 2009, we had this giant housing bubble, and when that crashed, you saw home prices plummet. People couldn't, they were trying to give away houses. They were very, very inexpensive. So if we do not change course, we could very well see another one of those housing bubbles and a big crash. But then I guess people will be able to buy homes if prices finally come down. They need to come down. People are being squeezed out of that American dream, and we need people to start buying, and we need builders to start building.
Well, it's definitely a tug of war on both sides, so can't wait to see how all of this unfolds. Once again, we have been speaking with none other than Mr. Mark Powell. He is a real estate broker and president-elect of the San Diego Association of Realtors. Thank you, Mark. Always good to see you, sir. Happy
Thank you,
home
guys.
shopping.
Thank you very much.
All right, good stuff. Once again, Mark joining us right here on the Live Zone.